This is, of course, a bit of a breaking news that has come in where in the Indian state of Kerala, there has been a report of a stampede where 4 students have been killed at the Kochi University. And also there are reports that at least about 60 students have been injured in the stampede. The tragedy occurred during the university's anniversary celebrations. This was some kind of a college festival program where the stampede happened. And our correspondent Siddharth MP is, of course, joining us with more details on this story. Siddharth, this is a very tragic incident that seems to have happened where 4 students have been killed at a stampede at a music fest in Kochi. What more information do we have?
Yes, indeed. As you pointed out, very tragic news coming in from Kerala. They were there for an event, in fact, to celebrate. It was part of their college Tech Fest celebration. So it was not just the students of the Cochin University for Science and Technology that had gathered there. In fact, students from various other colleges nearby had also gathered. So based on initial reports and estimates, there were just about 2,000 people at the event. Students, of course, young men and young women who were there to celebrate and enjoy the evening. There was a singer who was performing. So Nikita Gandhi is the singer's name. So this famous playback singer was performing there. And what we're given to understand based on initial reports is that it had rained at the venue. It was an open-air venue. And people had rushed towards one gate. It was locked, or that's what the initial reports say. And at the moment that gate was opened, it led to a flight of stairs. And that's where this unfortunate incident had taken place, where people were rushing for shelter, but in a hurry. Apparently, a stampede had taken place at the flight of stairs. Perhaps people had slipped and fell there or whatever. However, these are just initial reports. But one thing that we understand is that at least 4 people have lost their lives. A little more than 50 students are hospitalized in this connection. And based on what Kerala government officials themselves say, the condition of a couple of students are quite critical. So this is very bad information coming in that, on a evening like this where students were barely there to celebrate and have a good time, but such a tragedy is unfolded. 4 young lives already having been lost to this tragedy. And it appears to be a student-run event because college Tech Fest are generally student-run events and they happen on campus. So these are not like private events that happen outside in a city that are open to public.
Siddharth, it's so tragic that this has happened inside of a college university campus. But do we know as to what has actually resulted in the stampede? Because colleges have these huge grounds in which these concerts are held, and generally arrangements are made pretty well. But what went wrong this time around? Do we have any information on that front?
So at this point in time, we have this very basic information, and in regard to that, I can say that this event actually took place at an open venue, and as you rightly point out, it was quite a spacious venue for the kind of crowd that had turned up. Initial estimates say that 2,000 students had turned up over there, not just from the CUSAT University, Cochin University, but also those from nearby colleges, which is the norm in case of Tech Fest, because that's a place where students from various colleges compete and interact and so on. But of course, this was the end of the day, and this was an evening event, obviously a concert, so more people would have turned up. But it's not overcrowding that seems to have caused this issue. But I believe that there was rain that fell on the venue, and given that this was an open-air venue, students had rushed away from the concert venue to a nearby place for shelter. So as and when they were rushing for shelter, that's where this incident seems to have occurred, because we're also looking at some of the images coming from that place, and it appears that there are a flight of stairs exactly at the place where this incident has taken place. So that's where a lot of footwear are strewn across, and it shows that, that's the place where this incident took place. And, as more and more people rushed to shelter, and perhaps few of them slipped and fell, and more of them followed. So that's what seems to have been the case, and this is, of course, based only on initial reports. So that's what we have for now, Mohammed.
Absolutely, indeed, Siddharth. Thank you very much indeed for joining us and getting us the details in terms of what has happened in this very tragic incident, where at least 4 students, we're given to understand, have been killed in a tragic stampede. And there are 60 other students who are said to have been injured, and some of them are very badly injured. A couple of them are said to be in a critical condition. And this happened at a music fest, at a concert that was taking place within the premises of the Cochin University. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.